starting lineup for Chicago. You'll have Brad Brown in center field leading off. Mickey Morandini second base bats second. Sammy Sosa in right field hitting third. Mark Grace first baseman bats fourth. Henry Rodriguez in left field hitting fifth. Jeff Blauser shortstop bats sixth. Jose Hernandez at third base hitting seventh. Scott Service the catcher will bat eighth. Mark Clark pitching and hitting ninth. Defensively for the Phils, Scott Rowland at third. Desi Relaford shortstop. Mark Lewis at second. Rico Bronya back in there at first. Doing the catching is Mike Lieberthal. Greg Jeffries in left field. Doug Glanville in center. And Bobby Abreu in right. On the mound is the rookie Carlton Loewer.
Carlton Loewer is making his first big league appearance. He was 7-3 in Scranton, had an excellent ERA of 2.87. He was leading the International League in complete games with 5 innings pitched with 94. He was second in wins and third in strikeouts with 69. He had a 6-game win streak broken his last start. It was a complete game 2-0 loss in which he allowed 9 hits with only 1 walk and struck out 9 in the 9-inning effort. He's really coming into his own now, getting more aggressive, as Hitch said. He's gotten much meaner on the mound, and that's something that I think is really going to help him. He's got the stuff.
The umpires this afternoon, Mark Hirschbeck calls the balls and strikes. The crew chief Terry Tate at first, Eric Gregg at second, Larry Vanover at third. Brad Brown will lead it off for the Chicago Cubs. Brown hitting at .302. Congratulations to Phillies fans Janet and Ed Harbaugh, who were married yesterday. Janet, the niece of Jack and Jeannie Shore. Fastball for a strike. First fastball the Loewer threw is a 92-mile-an-hour. Changeup had him well out in front of it, 0-2. His fastball, LA, 90 to 95. Is that it?
It's going to be 90s? In that area, yeah. He throws a 2-seamer, probably a little lower, maybe 92. Good 4-seamer, probably 93, 94. He doesn't lose much when he throws a 2-seamer, which is good.
1 ball and 2 strikes. It was high. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You can't even imagine the kind of adrenaline and nervousness that's going through Carlton Loewer right now.
Change-up hit on the ground. Lewis flags it and throws him out. Lewis had a long way to go to his left and made the play. Brad Brown retired, 1 down.
That's sometimes with the young pitchers. See Mark Lewis goes way to his left. There's a lot of range there. Comes back, makes a good throw to Rico. That is the biggest out of Carlton Loewer's career up to this point. It's getting that first one is always the toughest, but once you get it, just kind of relax a little more and you get some of that nervousness out of you.
Mickey Morandini hitting at .335. That's 8th best in the league, coming off his 3rd 4-hit game of the year. Changeup had him well out in front of it. No balls and 2 strikes to Morandini. Loewer said, I talked to him before the game, he said he slept well.
Yeah, he's
line drive left field. Jeffries puts it away. Well hit to the opposite field by Morandini, caught by Jeffries. 2 down, and that'll bring up Sammy Sosa. Loewer's 24 years of age. He comes out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Went to Mississippi State University. 1st-round draft pick in the '94 draft. 23rd player selected in that draft. Sammy hitting at .333, 5th in the league in homers with 21, 4th in the league in runs batted in with 60. Ball and no strikes to Sammy Sosa. Sosa 2 for 7 in this series with a home run. He tops the foul down the third base side. Cubs come into play 39-27, 12 over 500. They're one game behind Houston in National League Central. First anniversary wishes to Fred and Cindy Keller of Marmora, New Jersey, who ask about the whereabouts of Larry Boa. Larry Boa is coaching third for the Anaheim Angels. Two balls and a strike to Sammy Sosa. Chopped down the third base side. It's a foul ball. And it's 2-2.
One of the hardest things for a young pitcher when they come up and make their major league debut is not looking at the names or thinking so much about the hitters and just pitching your game. Remember Scott Rowland talking about first time in his big league spring training facing Dennis Eckersley. He said he threw him 3 pitches. He said he could have hit all 3 of them, but because it was Dennis Eckersley he was facing, he was intimidated. And that's one thing a lot of times that happens with them guys. You go up there and just try and think of this guy being in the Ottawa uniform.
Struck him out. A 1-2-3 inning for Carlton Loewer. No runs, hits, errors, none left. After 1/2, Cubs nothing. Phil's coming to bat. Cubs failed in the top half. Terry Francona's Phillies lineup for the bottom of the first. Doug Glanville center field leads off. Greg Jeffries left field batting second. Scott Rowland at third base hitting third. Rico Bronya first base bats fourth. Mike Lieberthal catching hitting fifth. Bobby Abreu in right field bats sixth. Mark Lewis second base hitting seventh. Desi Relaford the shortstop bats eighth. Carl Loewer pitching hitting ninth. Cubs have Jose Hernandez at third. Jeff Blauser shortstop. Mickey Morandini second. Mark Grace at first. Got service behind the plate. Henry Rodriguez, Brant Brown, and Sammy Sosa in the outfield from left to right. Mark Clark on the mound, the 30-year-old right-hander.
He's 4-6, has a 4.55 ERA. Last start against the Phils, he got a no decision. He didn't throw that well. He started off pretty good, but
Doug Glanville wastes no time in continuing a hitting streak. He has hit safely now in 14 consecutive games.
That's just getting to be another ho-hum there with him.
Really? 31 multi-hit games for Glanville. Leads the majors in that category.
There he just gets a fastball up, right up the middle. He's just unbelievable when you talk about consistency. You see his hitting streaks there is at 14 now. He just keeps hitting and hitting and hitting. It's like an Energizer bunny.
Leads the league in hits with 95 of them. Donnie Bichette came in tied with him at 94. Glanville at first. He has 11 stolen bases. He's been thrown out twice. Greg Jeffries batting at .313. Greg ejected from yesterday's game after taking a called third strike twice. Dropped him to third in the league and toughest to fan.
He wasn't real pleased.
Behind Tony Gwynn and now behind Eric Young of Los Angeles. Birthday wishes today to Glenn Rabbit Kessler of Locustdale, Pennsylvania, longtime fan. It was Larry Vanover who ran him. Glanville goes. It's sent to right center field, but it's going to hang up for Brant Brown. Brown makes the play, and Glanville will come back to first base, one down.
Glanville had a great jump there. A lot of times the number 2 hitter will take a strike and give that runner on first base, your leadoff hitter, give him a chance to steal a base. He just gets a real good jump there. Clark is not real quick to the plate, or he wasn't there. And Glanville picks up the ball, sees where it's at, but I think he would have had that base easily.
Winds knock that ball down a little bit. The Winds are going to carry the ball to the left and knock it down a little bit to right. Here's Scott Rowland hitting at .313. Paul Lackett, a longtime Phillies fan, celebrating his 77th birthday in Brigantine, New Jersey. Phillies have had a great success rate in stolen bases. 45 steals have been thrown out just 19. That was a close play. Just 19 times. Phillies have been successful in their last 15 consecutive attempts.
Well, it looks like he had him leaning just a little bit. See, Mark Grace being left-handed, he catches that ball. Mark Clark makes a perfect throw to him.
1 ball and no strikes to Scott Rowland. Our best to Marie and George Wolf watching the game in North Wales, Pennsylvania. Their granddaughter Ashley is here at the ballpark today.
Amazed at how deep, especially with the wind blowing in a little bit, how deep these Cubs outfielders play. I don't know if it's from playing in Wrigley or boy, they are. Brant Brown is way, way deep. Now he's the same place with Glanville, with Jeffries, no matter Rowland, whoever's hitting, he plays real deep.
Not going to hit it over his head unless you hit it over the fence, but you're also going to be able to drop some in front of him. He balls and no strikes to Scott Rowland. Missing wide, 3-0. Rowland looking down at John Vukovich to see if he's swinging 3-0. Glanville at first, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first of a 0-0 game. Rowland took all the way. It's 3 balls and a strike.
Clark doesn't walk a lot of people. He's only had 1 game where he's walked more than 3. Walked 4 1 game, and a couple games he's walked 3. Other than that, he's been 0, 1, or 2 walks.
Glanville goes. The pitch is a called strike. The throw is wide. Glanville gets his 12th stolen base of the year. The Phillies 16th in a row without being thrown out.
Looks like that ball got there at the same time it hit Mickey Morandini's glove. Mickey couldn't hang on to it. Might have been pretty close there.
So it's full count to Scott Rowland. Called out on strikes. Not happy with the call by Mark Hirschbeck.
Well, he's kind of looked like he was looking a little bit away here and kind of got leaning out a little bit, and then borderline. Glanville on his still gets a good jump here. He looks in to see what's happening at 3-1 in case he hits the ball. As that ball comes there, hits Mickey's glove, and Glanville's leg hits Mickey's glove the same time as the ball.
Rico Brogna back in the lineup after sitting out yesterday. Rico hitting at .279, 7th in the league in runs batted in, 54. His RBI ratio of an RBI every 4.2 at bats, tied for 5th in the league with Sammy Sosa.
I guess it's a good sign to see him swing and miss, and shoulders okay at this point.
On the inside corner, no balls and 2 strikes to Rico Brogna. Rico is hitting .379 with runners in scoring position. Phillies still lead the league in hitting with runners in scoring position at .294. Braves 4 points behind. Ball and 2 strikes to Rico Brogna. Slings it into left field, base hit. Glanville will score, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. The 55th run batted in of the year for Rico Brogna.
I think he had a pretty good pitch right there after Mark Clark trying to get him to chase the fastball away. Comes in with the fastball inside, makes a good pitch. Rico just drops it into left. He kind of jams him in here, comes in there, see, he pulls those hands in. He doesn't hit it hard, doesn't really get it on the barrel, but does just enough to get that run in.
Got the job done. An inside-out swing by Rico. And here's Mike Lieberthal, who's hitting at .245. Lieberthal, good lifetime hitter against the Cubs, .365 lifetime against Chicago. But not against this pitcher. He's hitless lifetime against Mark Clark, 0 for 6.
Mark Clark's not going to come in and overpower you. He moves the ball around, he changes speeds, and has some good movement on him. He's got good control.
2 strikes to Lieberthal. Pittsburgh will be moving in here tomorrow. Night games on Monday and Tuesday. Business person special on Wednesday. Matt Beach goes tomorrow against John Lieber. Tuesday night, Tyler Green against Jose Silva. The business person special will feature Kurt Schilling against Francisco Cordova. He goes. It's popped up, foul, heading toward the crowd. Hernandez over, but he's going to run out of room. Ball and 2 strikes. It holds to Mike Lieberthal. Brony has 6 stolen bases. He's been thrown out twice. Certainly not a speed merchant, but he picks his spots well. Albert Wilkinson of Northfield, New Jersey, 71 years of age today.
Rico's got a good lead over there. He's got a foot out on the carpet. Usually don't see him get out that far.
Draws the throw and scrambles back. Him up, shallow right. Morandini drifts out and puts it away. And will retire the side, but the Phillies are on the board with a run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. After 1-0 Phillies. The Phillies on top by a score of 1-0. Mark Grace will lead it off for Chicago. Golden wedding anniversary wishes today to Joe and Anna McKitka of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, celebrating their 50th. Carlton Loewer had a 1-2-3 first inning. Facing the second leading hitter in the National League, Mark Grace, who's batting at a .352. Fouls it back and out of play. 1 strike to Grace. Grace 4th in the league in on-base percentage, 3rd in the league in hits. 1 ball and 1 strike to Grace. See, he's second in the league. John Olerud at .359. Who's that guy 3rd in the league?
You usually don't see him there at 3rd.
You usually see him on top of that list. But he's right there again, Tony Gwynn. 2 balls and a strike to Grace. He's high with it, 3-1. To center field, it's deep. Glanville back, and this ball is off the fence, goes by Glanville, backed up by Abreu. Grace is going to get a triple on it. Mark Grace with a triple off the center field fence.
Well, it's 3-1. It's in his count. The count's in his favor. He gets a fastball up a little bit. Here wants it down away, but you want to throw a strike. He just gets it up about mid-thigh. Glanville just got caught too close to the wall. He was going back, and He thought he might have had a chance at it. Now he gets back there and ball the way it comes off of that turf out there, that high bounce, kind of got caught in between.
Brings on Henry Rodriguez. He's hitting at .220. Phillies will keep the infield back. They'll concede a tying run here in the early going. Ball and a strike to Henry Rodriguez. Rodriguez not a high batting average, but always a threat to go deep. Into left field, base hit. Grace will score, and this game is tied at 1-1. An RBI single by Henry Rodriguez. They'll bring up Jeff Blauser.
Again, Loewer just got that ball up a little too much. The changeup.
Couple of lines on Phillies pitchers rehabbing. Yorkis Perez started for Reading today, went 1 inning. He'll have no runs, no hits, 1 strikeout. Ricky Batalico for Scranton Wilkes-Barre pitched 1 inning against Norfolk. 1 inning, no hits, no runs. Walked 2 and struck out 1. Jeff Blauser hitting at .235. On the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes to Blauser. Let's pause for station identification on the Phil's television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV Philadelphia.
0-2 to Blauser with Rodriguez at first. Nobody out, a run across. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Longtime Phillies fan Florence Riley of Bridgeton, New Jersey, celebrating her 85th birthday today. Just missed the inside corner, 2-2. Him out. Second strikeout for Carlton Loewer. 1 down here in the second. That'll bring up Jose Hernandez.
It looks like he got a changeup batter. Blauser tried to hold up on. He does. It's a changeup. That ball, he throws it right at the bottom, drops out of it. He just got great arm speed on it.
Here's Jose Hernandez. This guy is kind of the unsung hero for the Cubs. I mean, he comes in as a utility player, and they wanted Kevin Ory to be their third baseman. Ory didn't get it done, and so they turned to Hernandez, and all he does is come in and hit 8 home runs, knock in 30 runs, and play a very fine defensive third base.
Yeah, he's played very well. He's made some great plays down there, and he's hot right now. 3 home runs, 11 RBIs the last 7 games.
Ground ball third base. Took a funny hop on Rowland. They'll get 1. They turn the double play. Despite the bad hop to Rowland, they go around the horn, and that'll retire the Cubbies here in the second. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the second. We're tied at 1-1.
Still with St. Louis?
I'm just going to let you think about it.
I don't know what stadium.
Veterans Stadium. First one to ever have one here at Veterans Stadium.
I don't know where the guy I was thinking about was.
Okay. Desi Relaford will lead it off. He struck out his first time up, followed by Carlton Loewer, and then the top of the order, Doug Glanville. Check swing foul. Jenny Falcone celebrating a birthday today, number 75. Phillies fans since before the Whiz Kids, so happy birthday to Jenny. And congratulations to Jeannie and Randy Parker on the birth of their daughter, Caitlin Jean. Jeannie is a ball girl here at the ballpark for a lot of years and also a funster, so I'm sure they are proud parents today. Best wishes to them. Desi fouls another one off. No balls and 2 strike. Mark Clark has gotten into a pretty good groove along with Carlton Loewer, and the pitching is dominating this one.
And last time he had Desi with 2 strikes, he threw him a fastball up and out over the plate, off the plate. See if he does the same thing here. Looks like he's trying to do it.
And he hits a fly ball to right field. Playable for Sammy Sosa. Drifts under. And 1 out. Getting into the summertime, that makes you start thinking about the 4th of July, fireworks, and what a great place this is for a fireworks show. Friday, July the 3rd, Saturday, July the 4th, the Milwaukee Brewers will be in town. A spectacular fireworks show. Compliments of Mel and PSFS. See the new National League Milwaukee Ball Club. Pick up your date. Or pick both dates. Pick up your date. How about, yeah, sure, bring her to the game.
Pick up your date and bring her on in.
Work on this, fix this little typo on. Order by phone at 463-1000. You stop by the new Center City location at the Pennsylvania Convention Center, 12th and Arch. Here's Carlton Loewer, who walked his first time up, so he still does not have a major league at bat. There's Mom with a photo op.
See, that's Lynette Loewer, Carlton's mom.
All right, how's he swing the bat?
He doesn't swing. He's a good athlete. He doesn't swing the bat bad at all. So I'm surprised she didn't get down by that screen. Go down there and get the close-up of it.
I tell you what, he stands up there and crouches a little bit, chokes up on the bat. He looks like he. Let me put it this way: he's not like some pitchers who just look like they want to get out of there the minute they step in the box.
What's wrong with that? Do you have anybody in mind when you?
Ball's hit pretty well, but it's playable for Brant Brown, and he puts it away. 2 outs. Did I have anyone in mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in mind, but you're right there. One of the few guys to ever go to home plate with a warm-up jacket.
First time up. I'm one of the few pitchers that didn't like to hit. I was scared to death.
That was obvious, as Carlton Loewer hit that ball pretty well. So he is now 0 for 1 with a walk. Doug Glanville has a base hit today. 14-game hitting streak, 51 out of 55. Singled, stole a base, scored in the first, and lined out with 2-1 in the second. Clark starts him with a strike. These pitchers are mowing them down here today. 1-1. This guy seems like he's always leading the league with a hitting streak.
Time we look up, it's Glanville on the top of another streak.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And he loops one into right field. That's a hit. Big turn by Glanville, and he'll have a double. Sammy Sosa was on it quickly, but Doug Glanville with another multi-hit game, his 32nd of the year, his 11th double.
I don't know. He's just been outstanding. And they talk about the all-star team and guys go and this and that. This guy, to me, how can you not? How can he not? I'm not saying he has to be there, but in my mind, he's done everything.
Yeah, well, he just keeps piling these numbers up too. I mean, he might get to the point where he'll have a chance to overwhelm them with numbers. He's going to have way over 100 hits at the All-Star break, leading this league in hits.
They say he was on a pace for 238 hits.
Yeah, well, he's got 96. It's 2 today for a total of 96. Last fill to have 200 hits or more was Peter Edward Rose back in '79. He got something.
It's almost
50 hits that
20
month.
years ago. 19 years ago. It's
Jeffries hits it foul first base side. So the Phillies trying to pick up a 2-out run. That's their first base runner since Loewer walked back in the 2nd inning.
As you look at Glanville, he leads in in multi-hit games now with 32, and at bats he's tied. Well, now he's got the lead with hits, second in triples, tied for fourth in runs. And what? Man,
Really?
hitting 50 out of 54 games.
Jeffries, that's a fair ball down the line, and it'll break the tie. Back-to-back doubles for the Phillies as Jeffries knocks in a run for Greg's 29th RBI of the year. Glanville scores another run, and the Phillies lead 2-1. Tomahawk that ball. He and Morandini will talk about it.
He gets this. He wants that fastball up high again, and he just. I mean, Greg Jeffries he can hit so many pitches, so many different places. Glanville comes across to score the go-ahead run.
And Doug Glanville up among the league leaders in runs scored. That's now 56 for him. He scored both Phillies runs today. Scott Rowland, the batter, with 2 strikeouts. And he fouls one back. Clark's done a pretty good job of moving the ball in and out on Scott and changing speeds, although I don't think he was happy with that first time he was called out on strikes.
Well, it looked a little bit like he was looking away, but the ball, he saw it, he picked it up, felt it was down a little bit. Might have been a little low.
Clark's ahead of him 0-1. Outfielders are really deep. Inside. Birthday and get well wishes as you look at the outfield there to Cecil Salmons, big Phillies fan. He's 76 tomorrow. He's in Hahnemann Hospital. And that comes from Sheila Salmons Sacco, who's a hostess in the diamond seats here at the vet. So we wish her dad the best and a happy birthday to him.
With those outfielders playing that deep, usually an outfielder is going to play in position according to what he does best. If he comes in on the ball well, he'll play deeper. If he has trouble going back on the ball, he'll stay back there. If he has trouble coming in on the ball and goes back well, he'll play more shallow.
On the inside corner, even at 2-2. The only one even cheating a little bit is Sammy Sosa in right field.
Yeah, and but these guys, Brent Brown and Henry Rodriguez, Brent Brown in center, Rodriguez in left, they pretty much play in the same spot. They play deep for everybody with the exception of the pitcher.
Oof. I think Scott held his breath there because Mark Hirschbeck will ring you up on those sometimes, and that was outside. Mark is a good ball and strike umpire.
Well, when you give the umpire a little lip, or you show him up a little bit, or you say something to him, then they're more apt to ring you up. And we saw that yesterday with Greg Jeffries had some words his first strikeout.
Got in on Rowland, blooped into left field, a long run, Rodriguez and Blauser, and Jeff Blauser saves the day. We're just showing you how deep Rodriguez was, and he couldn't get there. Phillies get a run on back-to-back doubles, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Phillies with a 2-1 lead. First inning on a single left field. Rico's 55th, and another spectacular defensive play for him. Just another ho-hum game for Rico Brogna.
It really is.
What a good player. Pop-up foul down the third baseline. Hernandez will just run out of room. A ball and a strike on Rico. Nice hearing from Mr. and Mrs. Loewer down there. That's quite a New England accent that he has, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
He says we're putting the strikeouts down on his hand. He's got room for a whole lot of strikeouts. He has some big hands.
He's a big old farmer, huh? There's Carlton, who's done such a great job. 14 in a row. He's retired them in order 5 out of 6 innings today. Brogna fouls it back, and Mark Clark has pitched very well for the Cubs. Phillies have a 1-run lead to 2-1 here in the 6th. Game's been real nice to watch.
I tell you, talking about the job Rico's done, we talk about Glanville, but a nucleus for this club has really been with Brogna, Glanville, Rowland. I mean, I'm not to mean to leave guys out, but I mean, they've got a great nucleus, and really in the rebuilding program they're doing, they've got some good players, some good talent, and I think a really bright future for this organization. Look at the size of those paws on Gabby. He's good. And look at those.
Mr. Lower's like Terry Mulholland's dad.
Yeah.
You have to figure those kids didn't give him a whole lot of lip with those paws on Daddy.
That's probably why he's called Gabby.
Rico hooks it down the line. It's a fair ball going to the corner. Rico Brogna will have a lead-off double here in the 6th inning for Brogna, double number 17 on the year.
Well, he gets his pitch down. That ball is just down the middle. He just stays right on it. Sosa makes a nice play off the wall, but really no chance, even with his strong arm and a good play off the wall, no chance to get Rico.
Well, the Phillies wasted a leadoff double by Abreu in the 2nd. They don't want to let that happen now in this close ball game. Lieberthal, the batter, might go for 2. And he takes a shot at the right side and fouls it out of play. Real good idea for Lieberthal if he can do that, especially with Abreu on deck, as hot as he's been.
Well, it's a tough thing to do, a guy that's more of a pull hitter, to try and hit the ball that way. And you see, just waits a hair too long to pull the trigger to hit the ball to the right side. But that's what you want to do. You want to try and go over to that side.
There's Brogna, the runner on at second base with nobody out, and he tried it again and fouled it back.
It's probably frustrating for hitters as they get a couple of good pitches to hit, to pull, and they're like, oh man, if there wasn't somebody on second, if I could just let this thing go without trying to hit to the right side.
Yeah, and you can see by the swings he took, he's trying to drag it through the hitting area to hit it the other way.
Now with 2 strikes, you just want to try and hit the ball hard somewhere.
Tried to get a pitch away for a called strike and missed 1 and 2. Mike Lieberthal coming into this game batting .365 lifetime against the Cubs. That's the best average he has against any opponent. Fair ball as he hooks it down the line. Another double. Brogna's going to score. Lieberthal with an RBI double. Mike's 28th run batted in. Phillies lead it 3-1 as they picked up 4 doubles in the last 2 innings.
He tries to come in after just missing with the fastball away. He tries to come in. He wants him to pull the ball, but he doesn't get that ball in enough. But 1 and 2, you really want to go for a strike out there. Just doesn't get the ball in far enough. If he does, he pulls it foul.
Lieberthal's 12th double. Do you think he was looking to try and maybe get a called strike in there and surprise him?
Could be. I mean, he'd been pitching in, and then he goes away with the fastball. But to me, after he just misses with the fastball away, even though you don't want to get him to hit something to the right side, you see Terry Mulholland up in the bullpen. But if you start a slider on the outside corner and let it break off the plate, it's a lot easier chance to get a guy to swing and miss there. Here you see his pitches, 99 pitches. Still a good strike ball ratio, better than what it was earlier.
And Bobby Abreu now having a conversation with John Vukovich. This is another one of those situations where do you just try to give yourself up, pull the ball, and move the runner over? Or do you go for more as Mulholland warms up? And Vuk and Abreu talking it over, so there's no...
Well, I think you still, I mean, it's a 3-1 game. It's only a 2-run game. You want that 1 run is a big run.
And you see the runner Lieberthal at second base with nobody out and a run in, and Abreu fakes a bunt, takes a changeup outside.
In this situation too, especially with a left-handed hitter and as hot as Abreu's been, you don't want to just try and hit a ground ball to the right side. You want to try and drive the ball somewhere.
Yeah, and you see his numbers with runners in scoring position. Bobby Abreu very good at that. And on the outside corner with an off-speed pitch, a breaking ball, 1-1. Ball and 1 strike. And the pitch comes in high, 2-1. Old Dream Weeker up here.
I was going to say, speaking of Dream Week, there's a guy here that never really had any fun in Dream Week.
Joe McGarity from McGarity Ford in Chestnut Hill. Came up to say hi to us. We're glad to see him here. See if Bobby Abreu can do something. 2 balls and 1 strike. And he hooks it into right field, a base hit. They'll have to hold Lieberthal. Sosa's on it in a hurry. And the Phillies now with runners at the corners, nobody out here in the 6th inning.
Well, Lieberthal had to hold up, make sure that Morandini doesn't catch that ball. He did the right thing. He started to break back to the bag in case Morandini makes that play. But he gets us a fastball outside. He does a good job here. He pulls this pitch outside, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. And it's not like just trying to hit a ground ball. Like I said, you want to try and drive the ball out there. And Bobby does a good job, just gets it out of the outstretched hand of Mickey Morandini, and Vukovich had to hold Lieberthal at third. As you look at Jim Riggleman.
Now, nobody out. They have to make a decision here. Do they want to bring the infield in or play for a double play and give up another run here in the 6th inning? And it appears they're going to play halfway.
Well, if something hit hard, especially at the corners, they'll go to the plate. Lieberthal doesn't run that well. See, Riggleman's going to let him know he wants him in.
Yeah, they don't want to give up another run here.
With the way that the Loewer's pitching, I mean, that all comes into account. What the other guy's doing, how the other guy's throwing.
And the pitch to Lewis is outside. Lewis in this game has struck out and lined out. Coming into the game, hitting safely in 5 straight and 8 out of 9. Trying to make something happen here as the Phillies have picked up a run in the 6th inning, threatening for more. And their young right-hander Carlton Loewer has pitched great here in his major league debut. And Bobby Abreu just continues to kill these Cubbies. He's 2 for 3 today. 462 coming into the game against Chicago. He's just added to those numbers, and he's got 4 more shots at him coming up this week. Lewis down the line and foul out of play.
Well, Abreu's got 4 hits off of Clark, 2 home runs, a double, and a single here. He is definitely having his way with Mark Clark. Hitting 500, isn't he, off the Cubs?
He's 6 for 13 coming in today.
Now he's 8 for 16.
Right, that's 500. Oh, you're good. People don't know this about you. Quick you are. Lewis fouls one off right side, out of play, and the count 1-2. Calculator head, huh?
I was pretty good in math.
Really?
Or back when I was in school, it was arithmetic.
Did you get the geometry or anything like that?
I did that. I got all the angles.
See Lewis with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. There's nobody out here as you see runners at the corners. Lieberthal and Abreu, the base runners. 1-2 on Lewis. Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit, scoring Lieberthal. And that's what happens when you get into a defensive position, Andy. We're just talking about it. They had to play it in, cost them a run.
It's a double play ball if they're playing back. It's an easy double play ball if they're playing back. But you get them in and you increase your chance of a base hit, even on the ground, as you saw there with the infield in. That ball's got to be hit right at somebody. But I think Jim Riggleman, as he goes to the mound, he did not want to give up another run. He didn't feel that it was worth it to concede the run. You see here Clark throws a good slider outside part of the plate, but you know that's a routine double play just out of Blauser's reach. He dives for it, does everything he can, but with that infield in, it's tough.
Phillies now lead it 4-1. We'll get our first look at Terry Mulholland in this series as Mark Clark will depart in the 6th. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And the veteran left-hander Terry Mulholland. These guys were traded for each other. Terry Mulholland going to Seattle a few years ago for Desi Relaford, who he will face here with 2 on and nobody out. Phillies with a couple of runs in lead at 4-1. And there are the numbers on Terry Mulholland. Just the answer to our trivia question. And Desi with the pitcher Loewer pitching so well, they're not going to take him out of the game, so Loewer or Relaford will not be up there to bunt.
And Mulholland's done a good job with men in scoring position. I mean, with the runners, inherited runners, only 2 out of 12 have scored, which is an excellent ratio.
Pitching mostly out of the bullpen. 23 games, 2 as a starter. Relaford breaks his bat and pops to second. The infield fly rule. Mickey staggered under that one. The batter was out anyway. But that ball got in the sun a little bit on Morandini, and he had some trouble with it.
Like Mickey looked up at the skies. He jams Desi on this. Just gets it in. Desi knows he does. You know, he got the pitch in on him. He's not real pleased. But Mickey looked up after he catches. Watch after he catches now. He looks up at the sun like, I can't believe the sun's up there.
Didn't use the glasses?
No. I don't think when it first went up, I don't think he thought it was hit high enough to use the glasses.
But the umpires had that right arm up, so the batter was out no matter what happened there. Loewer's 0 for 1. He's walked, as you see, and flied out, and we might ask him to try and sacrifice here. Cubs think so. They're charging, and he bunts it to third. Hernandez will make the play to third as Blauser rotated on the play, and there are 2 outs.
Blauser didn't really look up at all. He could have gotten Loewer at first base. When he caught the ball at third, Loewer was only about halfway down the line. He didn't give him a look. It should have been a double play, really. See, he just catches it and looks down. Now, if he looks up right there, if he looks at first at all he's got to do is he could just kind of throw a balloon over there and get Loewer.
Yeah, he was just content to get the second out at third and was not looking up. So Loewer on the fielder's choice. Into second base is Mark Lewis. On at first, Loewer, and the batter Doug Glanville. So Jim Riggleman hoping he see his way out of this now. There were 2 runs in, 2 on, and nobody out. Now 2 runs in, 2 on, and 2 outs. For Doug Glanville, another good ball game. 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Bounces up there. Nice block by Service. Terry Mulholland, all those years he was here in Philadelphia, he will pitch inside, along with throwing that hard sinker down and away.
Well, Service gets over there, does a good job just getting his body over in front, because that ball hit out in front of the plate. See how he gets over there and does everything he can. It's all a catcher can do is hope it hits somewhere and stays in front of you.
One ball, no strikes on Glanville. Greg Jeffries waiting on deck. Almost hit him. 2-0. Mulholland has been unscored upon in 15 of his relief outings. And as Larry Anderson mentioned, he hasn't given up much as far as inherited runners either.
Glanville 2 for 3 off of Mulholland.
And a strike call. Terry with the Phillies a couple of times and pitched well for them. Pitching that no-hitter here at Veterans Stadium against the Giants. Also pitched in the World Series for the Phils in '93.
One of the best pickoff moves I've ever seen, too.
It's almost impossible to run on him.
You can't get a lead. He's got that quick move where he steps off and makes a snap throw to first. He won't do it with first and second. Obviously, first baseman not holding him on.
Had the honor of starting the All-Star game one year.
Yeah.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 4. Loewer was supposed to be running then, and he didn't. Then he walked back to first, and now he trots to second.
That's one of those things when a kid comes up, they don't want to overdo it a whole lot. In fact, I'm not sure that John Vukovich even had the pitchers meeting. A lot of times what you do, but 3 and 2 with 2 outs. I mean, it's not something that you have to go over with the pitcher.
Yeah, I'm sure Brad Mills told him to go, and he may have also said be careful because this guy has a heck of a move. Maybe they'll sneak in behind you.
It could be just maybe a brain cramp.
High chopper. Morandini will have to go to first and gets Jeffries. Phillies with 2 runs in the inning with 4 consecutive hits. No errors by the Cubs, and the Phils will leave them loaded. Our thanks to Larry Anderson. 4-1 Phillies.
Philly Fanatic entertaining the fans here at Veterans Stadium as we move to the 8th inning. Phils lead by a score of 4-1. Jeff Blauser will lead it off for Chicago. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, and no walks. That's quite a line in your major league debut. 80 pitches.
That's pretty good.
Really. There's Blauser. He has struck out both times that he's been up and fouls 1 back. 1 strike to Jeff Blauser.
And the other thing about it that's so impressive is this is a good lineup he's facing.
Yes, it is.
The Cubs come in with all kinds of 300 hitters. 3 guys in the top 10 in hitting in the league. And so far through 7, he's done some job.
4th in the league in hitting home runs. One hopper at Desi Relaford. One down here in the 8th inning. Now the Pittsburgh Pirates will be moving in tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. Tomorrow at 7:35, Tuesday at 7:35. That'll be Dollar Dog Night here at the Vet. Wednesday is our second Mellon PSFS Business Person Special at 105. For tickets, call 215-463-1000 or stop by the Center City location at Pennsylvania Convention Center at 12th and Arch.
A lot of strike ones, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so important to get ahead of hitters, and Loewer's done a lot today.
Hernandez is grounded into a double play, fly to deep center, and that's sharply hit but foul. Bob Patterson, the left-hander, gets up in the Cub bullpen. If they get to Terry Mulholland, they would hit for him. One and two to Hernandez. Chops another foul. How about this day? The sun out all day. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, the forecast for today was no problem. No rain today, and it has lived up to it.
Yeah. Nice crowd on hand. Headset radios for youngsters here today. 2-2 the count to Jose Hernandez.
Carlton Loewer still throwing his fastball in the low 90s and has been throughout this game.
There's this one straight back.
That headset radio compliments of Amtrak that Harry was just talking about, and there's a young fan listening in to Andy Musser and Larry Anderson right now. Wondering what he's saying. And Mom and Dad. Dad has the headset on.
In the air to right field. It's deep. Abreu back. Oh, should have caught the ball. Now he can't pick it up, and Hernandez is going to end up at third base. That was a deep fly ball, but Abreu should have got back to the fence and put that one away, and he did not.
Well, he has to go to the wall and then put his hand back and feel where he is, because that happened again to him, where he jumps and he's too close to the wall, so you can't get up. See, right there now, when he goes to jump, the wall's going to catch him. And the ball went in and out of his glove after the wall got him.
Actually, he didn't have to jump.
Nope.
If the ball was in his glove, then he had trouble picking it up. They're going to score it at triple. Well, it was a ball that should have been caught, and that'll bring up Scott's service. One strike to him. Jason Hartke is in the on-deck circle to bat for Terry Mulholland.
Hartke is a switch hitter.
Ground ball shortstop. That's going to get the run home, but Relaford gets out number 2 in the inning. In service, a run batted in. It is now a 4-2 ball game. And Hartke goes back to the dugout now, and Manny Alexander will come out to bat for Mulholland. Manny Alexander hitting at .278. A good pinch hitter, 4 for 10, including a home run. Four to 2. Bills on top here in the 8th inning. Terry Mulholland pitched well. Mulholland came in and pitched 2 strong innings, giving up no runs, no hits, struck out 2, walked 1. Came in with a couple of men on base and stranded them.
Carlton Loewer's dad here today, Terry Mulholland's dad here, and Larry Anderson and I were trying to figure out who has bigger hands.
I'd have to go with Big Mo.
Winnie Mo's dad has some big hands.
2 balls and no strikes to Manny Alexander. Fouls it back and out of play. Two and one to Alexander. Lowe falls behind him 3 and 1.
A lot of confidence in Loewer. They haven't got anybody up yet, but they're starting to squirm a little bit out in the bullpen. I think he is too. They gave up a cheap run here in this inning.
Beats the ball foul.
Just brings a tying run closer to home plate now with that run they just gave up, and they have a lot of home run hitters. And Terry Francona has to think, boy, I wish they hadn't given up that run, and now he's going to get lighter up.
Full count to Alexander. Fly ball center field. Doug Glanville has it lined up. That'll retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors and none left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Bills lead it 4-2. National League scoreboard: Atlanta over Montreal 5-1. Kevin Millwood joins teammates Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine as the National League's lone 9-game winners. The only Expos run, a Carlos Perez home run. Starting pitcher hit in his only run with his 3rd career homer. Cincinnati leading Houston 3-2. That game now in the 9th inning. Moises Alou has homered for Houston at Taubman C for Cincinnati. And Pittsburgh leads Milwaukee 7-2 in the 8th inning. Kevin Young a solo home run for the Pirates. The rest of the games will start later on. Here at Veterans Stadium, the moment of truth for Carlton Loewer. The 24-year-old rookie in his major league debut has a 4-2 lead and is trying to complete this game. Faces the top of the order: Brant Brown, Mickey Morandini, and Sammy Sosa. So he has his work cut out for him here in the 9th inning.
Another one of the reasons why he's in there is his pitch total was low at 93. He had thrown 19 first pitch strikes prior to that ball one.
1-1 to Brant Brown, who was grounded out, lined down on a great catch by Rico Bronia, and lined out to left.
Fighters ready if they need them.
Cues that ball foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
See Brown take a look at the end of the bat because he hit that changeup right off the very end. He thought he might have chipped it.
One and 2. Missed inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Line drive, base hit right field. Brown waited on the changeup, and he is a leadoff base runner. And we'll bring up Mickey Morandini. Morandini is lined out to left. Flied out to right on a great running catch and single.
Just missed with a pitch in prior to that, and then threw the changeup. And as Harry said, Brant Brown waited well on that. And he didn't hit it real hard, but he got a base hit out of it.
Morandini fouls it out of play. 1 strike to him. Ninth inning, Phillies lead at 4-2. A little bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Rico Broni's playing a little bit off Brant Brown at first, trying to take some of the hole away. Mickey's not necessarily a pull hitter, but if you're throwing something off speed, he might pull it.
2 balls and a strike to Morandini as Leiter gets back up in the Phillies. No, Wayne Gomes gets up in the Phillies bullpen. Two and 2. him out with a changeup. Strikeout number 8 for Carlton Loewer. 1 down here in the 9th.
There's his dad. He keeps putting the strikeouts on the palm of his hand. And he gets to add another one here as he throws an outstanding straight change to Mickey. He couldn't believe he got that pitch. Morandini's thinking fastball there, and the bottom fell out of that.
Now Lieberthal wants a word with young Carlton Loewer with Sammy Sosa coming to the plate. What you want to do is keep this guy in the yard.
Yeah, and you know how he is on first ball fastballs too, especially up. That's what Sammy Sosa lives on. So they're going to talk it over. I mean, he's going to earn it now because you got Sosa and Grace to get through.
Yeah. .103 total pitches, good strike ball ratio. Sosa struck out, grounded into a fielder's choice. One ball and no strikes to Sammy Sosa. Phil's lead 4-2 here in the 9th inning.
Well, Sosa's been trying to hit into a double play the last couple of days. Maybe he'll do it here.
Just wide. Lieberthal must have told Loewer to keep it away from him. Both pitches have been low and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
First pitch was a fastball, and that was a changeup.
Changeup. Gave him a 2-0 change and had him well out in front of it. Wow.
Well out in front of it. Look at this rip Sammy Sosa takes at this thing, too. I mean, he's thinking, I'm getting me a 2-0 fastball. Whoops, it's not. Great pitch.
2 balls and a strike to Sammy Sosa.
What a weapon.
Ground ball to third base. Rolling to Lewis. Relay. Game over. Complete game 4 to win Carlton Loewer. What a great job by the 24-year-old from Lafayette, Louisiana. And his mom and dad love it. So do the fans here at Veterans Stadium, giving him a standing ovation.
And they finally got that double play ball from Sosa. Sooner or later.
8 strikeouts, nary a walk. Carlton Loewer in his major league debut beats the Cubs by a score of 4-2. Wow. This has to be quite a day for the young man.
And this organization.
Really, really. There's Mrs. Loewer and Mr. Loewer. They are thrilled with their son, and why not? Ray and Lynette Loewer. Wayne Gomes there. Wow. Getting congratulations all around. A complete game 4-2 win over the Cubs. Gave up just 5 hits, and here's the dangerous Sammy Sosa.
Well, yesterday they couldn't get one on him. Earlier today they couldn't get one. They finally get that double play on Sammy Sosa and end the game. Loewer throws him a 2-1 pitch that's up, and Sosa tops it. And no mistake on this one. They get him, and what a job by Carlton Loewer. That was fun to watch.
It sure was, as the Phils win it by a score of 4-2 behind the complete game pitching of the rookie right-hander Carlton Loewer. We'll be back with the totals and a recap here at Veterans Stadium right after these messages.